Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you were drawn towards watching this video, it's because you are someone who feels like you are destined to be wealthy. It's like from a young age, you could have been someone who just knew and felt that you were meant to make a large amount of money. And maybe it's because you were destined to be the generational curse breaker of your family. Like maybe you were meant to break those financial generational curses and you're meant to acquire a large amount of wealth that so that you can pass down to future generations. Or for some of you, it could be that having a large amount of wealth is a part of your life purpose because you're meant to help a large amount of people. But whatever the reason is, you have always felt like you're meant to have a large amount of money, but for some reason you just feel like it's blocked. Like you feel like you keep experiencing blockages when it comes to that money coming into your life. So the goal of this video is to help you to clear out whatever that blockage is. So first we're going to figure out what the block is, because if we don't know what it is, then we can't clear it out. So we're going to figure out exactly what the blockage is, where it comes from, and then how to clear it out so that the money can start flowing into your life as it should. So if you are watching a pick a card reading for the first time, basically the way that it works is that you look at the screen, you figure out which card is calling to you intuitively, and that is going to be the card that has the messages for you. Don't think about it too much. Just choose whatever your intuition is pulling you towards. Okay. And then you go in the description box down below, and there will be a timestamp next to whatever card that you picked. And you click on the timestamp, and your messages will be there. So just go ahead and take a second. If you have to pause the video, go ahead and do so. Pause it for a second, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and just let your intuition guide you towards whichever card has the messages for you. Okay, group number one. So let's go ahead and dive right into your reading. So, the cards that I pulled for you for what's blocking you from financial abundance, wealth, and things of that sort, we have the Six of Pentacles first, and it's being clarified by the Justice card. Now, what really surprised me about your cards that came out is that I pulled from two different decks and I got the same card but in different decks. So I have from the Rider Waite deck, I pulled the Justice card, and then from the Osho Zen Tarot deck, I got the Morality card, and those are literally the same card from two different decks. So I can tell already that there is a very strong message that's trying to come through here. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So the Six of Pentacles being here, this lets me know that for a lot of you, your blockage has to do with you feeling like you're not deserving of abundance. There's something here within your subconscious that basically says that you have to overextend yourself in order for you to be worthy of anything. So for some of you, this could be like a people pleaser mentality where you've always felt like you have to do the most to deserve the least. Like you have to go out of your way and you have to go above and beyond for people for them to even give you little scraps or little crumbs. You see what I'm saying? So that is embedded into your subconscious, and that is actually blocking your wealth from coming through because it's like you're applying that to money and finances as well. And that's why I always tell people that your relationships, your connections, and I'm not just talking about romance. I'm talking about relationships with your family, with your parents, with your friends at an early age. All of those things directly relate to money as well. And a lot of people think they're separate. Oh, my relationship, my love life is separate from my finances, my career. No, they definitely do intertwine. And if you have been on, receiving the bare minimum and you've been overextending yourself, that it makes perfect sense that you're going to apply that same notion to your finances, and you're going to feel like you have to work extra, extra, extra hard, but then you're going to see that you're getting very little in return, as opposed to other people that you might look at and you might see that maybe they work hard, but maybe they don't work as hard as you do, and they're getting a lot of abundance in return. It has a lot to do with your subconscious. Does that make sense? I hope that that makes sense. It's embedded in you that you have to do the most, but you're still going to be deserving of the least. That's very sad and very disturbing. And it's a shame that anybody has ever even treated you that way so that this message can even be embedded in you. Like, that's just, oh, goodness. So the next card that I pulled is the Justice card. Again, I feel like you're the type of person. Well, first of all, this is the Libra card, and the shadow side of Libra is people pleasing, like I said. And people pleasers tend to give too much all the time and get very little in return. So that message is coming through twice. And it's interesting because I mentioned this. I mentioned this on Twitter a couple of days ago, where I said that people need to learn how to raise their prices. Like, entrepreneurs need to learn how to raise their prices, especially if they are people pleasers. Like, if you're a people pleaser, it's more than likely that you're going to sell your services or your products for very little, and you're going to start to feel drained, because when it comes to making sales, it's supposed to be a fair trade. Like, the money that people give you when you're selling something, that's energy that they're giving you, and then you're giving them energy in return through the work that you're putting out. So you'll know that your prices are too low, because when you make sales, you'll feel drained because you're giving more energy than what you're getting. You have to price yourself accordingly. You have to price yourself in a way that when you do sell something, it doesn't feel draining to you, because there's an equal exchange. Does that make sense? So that's just an example. I'm not saying that all of you are entrepreneurs or anything, but that's just an example of, like, the people pleasing tendency to give a lot and get very little, and how it can drain you when it comes to sales and finances and things like that. So that's what I'm seeing for you. Again, that message is coming out about people pleasing. It's like you're needing to really know what you are worth. Like, you're needing to really know your self worth in order for you to really get what you deserve. I feel like you underestimate yourself a lot. And by you underestimating yourself and overextending yourself, it makes perfect sense why there's a blockage when it comes to your money, right? Let's say that you are someone who, because I gave the example of being an entrepreneur, let's say that you're someone who works at a company, right? Because not everybody's an entrepreneur. A lot of people are happy with, working for someone. So let's say that you work at a certain company, and you know that you're deserving of, like, a promotion or like a raise, or let's put it this way: you want a promotion or you want a raise. Like, you heard that they're giving a promotion, they're giving raises, and you're like, I feel like I want that, right? Because you undervalue yourself and because you overextend yourself, you're less likely to go and ask for it. Like, you'll probably think in your mind that you want it, but that subconscious blockage of being a people pleaser and feeling like you deserve less, you were more likely not gonna go and actually ask for it or go and get it. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Anger Management with Adam Sandler. And if you have, do you know that in that movie, the main character that Adam Sandler plays, his name is Dave. He was going above and beyond for his boss. Like, he was in charge of, like, creating this big project for his boss, and the boss was taking all the credit for it, and his boss was just treating him like trash, but he was going above and beyond for his job. And in the end, he ended up not getting the promotion. Like, the boss gave it to somebody else. And eventually Adam Sandler had to learn how to stick up for himself, and basically told the boss off and told the boss about himself and told the boss, like, I put in all this work, I deserve that promotion. Like, he stood up for himself at the end. But that movie and that character is a perfect example of someone who's going above and beyond and people pleasing, and then they end up getting less until they learn their worth and learn how to stand up for themselves and speak up for themselves. So that's what I'm seeing here for you. I feel like you're needing to know what you are worth. You're needing to really put into your mind how worthy and valuable you actually are. And I feel like that's going to unblock this financial blockage that you have. Because again, I'm getting this energy of you're someone who's very fair, right? Like, you really like fairness. You like equality. You like for there to be a fair exchange, right? But what happens when you undervalue yourself is that your idea of a fair exchange is going to be you getting the short end of the stick. Like, if you think that you're not worth much, then people giving you very little, in your mind, you're going to interpret that as that being fair. But no, it's not. It's not fair. And I feel like whoever programmed you to feel this way with someone who couldn't even offer you much. So that's why they programmed you to feel like you should accept less because they were inadequate and they couldn't offer you much. It's kind of like if you have like a partner, like a romantic partner who is just not emotionally equipped to to be a good partner. And so they'll just instead convince you that what you want or what you deserve is too much and you should, humble yourself or lower your standards because they don't have the tools to give you what you need. And so they convince you instead that you're not enough, or they convince you instead that you want too much. They convince you to lower your own self-worth or your own self-value in your mind so that you can expect less. And that goes for parents too. Parents can program you to believe that too, and that spills over into the way that you interact with finances. You deserve a lot, and subconsciously you don't know that. So when you're getting these little crumbs, you're like, your subconscious mind is like, that's fair because that's how much I'm worth. That's fair. And no, it's not fair. And when if you do start getting more, like more money starts coming in, more wealth starts coming in, it's going to be uncomfortable for your subconscious because your subconscious is going to interpret that as, this isn't fair. I'm getting too much. Something's off balance about this. I'm getting too much. And then you'll probably start to sabotage your finances. I've seen it happen before. I've seen it happen where people are getting more money and their mind can't sync up with it because they feel like it goes far above and beyond what they feel like they deserve. So they'll start to sabotage it. And that's what I'm seeing for you. So you have to, a lot of your work that you're going to need to put in is going to be convincing yourself that you are worth more and knowing your value, because that's all subconscious beliefs are. They're just things that you've been convinced of. You see what I'm saying? They're not facts. It's not a fact that you're worth less. It's not a fact that you have little value. It's not a fact. That's just something that you've been convinced of. So the same way someone convinced you of that, you can reverse that and convince yourself of the opposite. So we have the dream card also that's here, and it's in the reverse. Yeah, I feel like for a lot of you, you don't even allow yourself to even daydream about having more or visualize yourself having more. And you're needing to do that, I feel. Because even that I feel can be uncomfortable for you. And you know what? I relate to this card for sure. Because when I first started on like my self-love journey and I started doing like affirmations, I had a very big resistance to affirmations at first because they went so far against what I actually thought about myself deep down inside that I felt resistance. But I just had to keep on like pushing through that resistance and keep doing my positive affirmations, keep doing the work in order for my brain to start to feel comfortable with these beliefs, with these new positive beliefs. So I feel like you're needing to allow yourself to even like sit before bed and just visualize yourself not having these financial blockages, and visualize yourself having a lot of wealth, and like, where would you be living? What would you be doing? Like, what hobbies would you have? Where would you be traveling to? What type of clothes would you wear? What type of, charities would you donate to? Think about all the people that you could help with all the money that you make. So I highly recommend doing that with this card coming out. Before bed, put on like a playlist, put on like your favorite songs, and just kind of allow your mind to just wander to a life where you don't have these financial blockages, and like a life where you are abundant, because that timeline exists already. You just have to match up to it, and visualizing it is going to be one of the first steps that you can take towards it. You see, that's what I'm seeing for you. Also, one more thing, be mindful about the people who, and I don't know if this is like a specific message for like a specific person, but be mindful of like the money that you're lending to people, or like the money that you're giving out to people, because I'm saying that that's a blockage too. Some of you give more than what you actually have, and you could see it as like, oh well, if I'm giving for a good reason, then I'll always get it back. No, because sometimes when you are overextending yourself energetically or financially too. I mean, finances is energy. When you're overextending yourself and you're thinking, oh, I'm doing a good deed, what you're really doing is you're doing a disservice to yourself. So be mindful of that. Like, there's a fine line between like being charitable and, giving to someone who's in need versus like someone taking advantage of you and draining you. And that goes for finances, that goes for just energy in general. Be very mindful of that. Oh, and one more thing. One more message is coming through about how some of you, yeah, some of you feel like you, like there's a blockage just coming through here about greed. Like you're feeling like if you sit and try to manifest finances, or if you sit and try to clear out financial blockages, there's this something underlying that's telling you that that's greedy, or it's greedy to want that. Yeah, you're gonna have to like completely expel that out of your mind, because there's a lot of good that you can do in the world when you have money. It's not all about like, oh, I just want all this money just so I can splurge and I can go and show off and buy all these materialistic things. No, there's a lot of good that you can do in the world when you have money. And not only just giving people money who are in need, but also when you have money and you can take care of yourself financially, that puts you in a position where you can show up for your best, as your best self in the world. So there's so much good that you can do in the world by you being financially stable yourself and not having to worry about finances. You can then turn your attention, onto doing great things in this world. And again, like I said, you could also help a lot of people who are in need. So don't see wanting more finances as something that's like this greedy, terrible thing, or feeling bad because there's other people who maybe are not in the position to have more finances. If they're not in a position to do that, then you could be the one to help those people. You see what I'm saying? So that was just coming through. So I just wanted to add that. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to do an extended video for this. So if this resonated with you and you want more messages, then the link to the extended will be in the description box down below. I'm going to be talking more in the extended about um, how to clear out these financial blockages that you may have, and I'm also going to get into um, how you're most likely to make this financial abundance. So like what route are you more likely to take? Like will it be entrepreneurship? Will it be investing? Like I'm going to pull some cards to see if I can get into the details of what your wealth is going to like what avenue is going to come through, and I'll see if I can also pull some cards for like what your wealthy era is going to look like what your life is going to look like once you do clear out these blockages. So the link to that will be in the description box down below. Thank you guys for listening, and I will see you over in the extended. Bye. Okay, group number two, let's go ahead and dive into your reading and let's see what's blocking your wealth from coming in. So the three cards that came out first are the Seven of Swords, the Going with the Flow card in reverse, and the Comparison card in the reverse. So immediately what I'm seeing here is that for a lot of you, you are consuming a lot, and you're confusing consumption with progress. And let me explain what I mean. It's like you're going on these different, maybe like social media pages, YouTube channels, and things like that. And you are consuming and watching these like videos, these posts about money, about making money, about wealth, and things like that. And it's making you feel like motivated, but then you're not actually applying everything that you learn. Like you're not actually going out and taking the steps towards doing the things that you learned. I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain this, because this reminds me of some like a psychology video that I was watching not too long ago, where basically they were saying that, excuse me, one form of coping with, not being happy with where we are now is to visualize like a better future for ourselves. But sometimes the visualization makes us feel so good that we actually don't take action towards it. So like we just stay stuck in a state of like daydreaming. It's like if you say to yourself, I really want to have a healthy marriage, right? And in your reality right now, you're single. So you visualize like this amazing romantic whirlwind, romance that you have like in your mind. You're visualizing your future, and it makes you feel so good that you just keep visualizing it every day, but you don't actually take action towards it because you're already feeling good with the with the visualization. Some of you could have Pisces placements. I'm a Pisces moon, so it's easy for us to get stuck in that. Like it's easy for us to have such a vivid like imagination, like a vivid way of daydreaming that we get so much dopamine, like we get so much of that like good feeling from just daydreaming about it that we don't actually take the steps towards doing it. Like we're stuck in a perpetual daydream. And so that's what I'm feeling for some of you. It's like you are going on like these pages and like reading about wealth or reading about how to get wealthy, and like you're visualizing it for yourself and you're like, yeah, I'm definitely going to do this, I'm definitely going to make this amount. And it's like you feel it, which is a good thing, because like manifestation is the first step. The first step of manifestation, I mean, is to feel it, right? So you're feeling it, it's a good thing. But I feel like it feels a little too good to the point where it's like you're satisfied with just the thought of your future being good, and you're not actually applying the things that you're learning and going towards it. Does that make sense? And from the video that I watched, I believe what she said was that when we do that, like when we are just more satisfied with consuming information about it or daydreaming about it, we have to stop and really ask ourselves how much we actually do want it. I think that you do want to be wealthy. I think you do want the abundance, but maybe there's some sort of blockage that you have when it comes to wealth, or like maybe there's like negative things associated with wealth that you need to clear out in order for you to feel like you actually want to go towards it in your reality. Because I feel like it feels safer to you to just keep on consuming and keep on daydreaming, because there's something about actually getting the wealth that I feel like is uncomfortable to you, or it's something that you're like afraid of. Let me pull one more card. Like using the example of like the romance, right? Like if you wanted to manifest like a marriage, like this crazy wild romantic marriage, right? If someone were to just always visualize that and they were happy with the visualization and they're not going towards it in the reality, it's probably because there's a part of them that feels like they can't get it, or there's a part of them that feels afraid of what might come with that romance, right? Like they could have a blockage in them that says that romance like that always ends in tragedy. So they're saying they want it and they're visualizing all the time, and the visualization feels so good, but they'll never actually go towards it in real life until they actually clear out that blockage that tells them that romance is dangerous, and they may not even know that they have that blockage. So that could be what's happening for you. It could be that when it comes to actually being wealthy, you could have some sort of block that's there. Like there's something in your mind that says that being wealthy is either not safe, or there's something wrong with it, there's something off about it that you need to explore. Because I feel like that's the reason why you're consuming so much content about getting wealthy, and you're visualizing it and you're daydreaming about it, and you're in your mind, you're like, I'm definitely going to do it, I'm definitely going to get there, but you're not taking any steps. I feel like there's something that makes you feel hesitant, like there's something that you're afraid of happening once you get there, once you get to the wealth. So it's like you're safer just consuming it and visualizing it and daydreaming about it. Let me pull one more. The Nine of Pentacles tried to jump out. So this could be like some of you being afraid of being independent, or like there's like you not feeling capable of being independent. This could be like if you are like you feel anxious at the thought of having to like be an adult, or like to manage all of that wealth. I'm wondering if some of you are like, if you are Capricorn North nodes and Cancer South nodes, because some of you, there's like a message that's coming through here about like wealth and having a lot of wealth. That's like the equivalent of being like a full adult. And I know that all of us are adults here, but I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that feeling of like perpetually still feeling really, really young, especially if you've experienced like trauma and things of that sort, which most of us on our channel have. Um, so it's like perpetually feeling very young, and that could come with like a fear of responsibility. And wealth, managing wealth is a big responsibility. Some of you are just overwhelmed at the thought of even having to manage like that much wealth, like the thought of having to get like an accountant, and it's like you'll be crossing over into like really, really adult territory. That's what I'm hearing for some of you, and that's why it's more fun for you to just like visualize the wealth and consume content about the wealth than to actually go get it. And it's crazy because for a lot of you, you know that you're capable of getting it. Like this isn't one of those things where it's like, oh, I don't really feel like I'm really capable of, like, for a lot of you, you know that you're capable of getting it. But it's like, I don't know if I'm ready for what comes with it, like that level of responsibility, that level of like having to manage all of that money, that level of like just being like a very independent adult. And then there's like a certain level of commitment that comes with wealth as well. It's like you have to commit when you're wealthy, you have to commit to maintaining your wealth. And some of you could not like that feeling. For some of you, it's like you could even think of wealth as like restrictive, because like once you get it, you have to keep it, you have to maintain it. And that in itself could feel restrictive, like you'll always be living in fear that you're going to lose it. And that can be restrictive. Let me pull one more. Ooh, these messages are deep. I did not expect for this to be the thing that came out when it came to wealth blockage. Let me pull one more. Yeah, eight of swords. So, I mean, sorry, eight of pentacles. So basically what I'm seeing here is that it's a part of your soul's path, or it's a part of your life path for you to become this very independent adult who can manage a large amount of wealth. And you have to really believe in yourself that you can. Like, I understand that it's intimidating, especially because a lot of you are a generational curse breaker. So you are breaking financial generational curses. You're about to be the first one in your family to make a large amount of money. You're about to be the first one in your family to be wealthy. And I understand it's intimidating. It's intimidating because it's like you can't go to anybody in your family and ask them about certain things related to wealth. Like, you can't ask them how to manage your money. Like, you're going to have to be learning all of this from scratch. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you even know how to, like, if you have kids, right, and you want to start a trust fund for your kids, you know what a trust fund is probably, right? Like, you've heard it in shows like with wealthy people, but do you even know what it entails, or like how to go and start one for your children? It's like those types of things can make you feel really intimidated. And I'm seeing here that like it's a part of your path to learn these things from scratch. Like, you're going to be the first one to learn them in your family, but you're going to pass down this type of wealth and this type of knowledge from generation to generation moving forward. But I can see why it's intimidating for you. But yeah, it is a part of your life path to have this large amount of money, to be this very independent, stable adult, to, like I said, break these financial generational curses. And so your best bet is, instead of like daydreaming so much about making money, or consuming so much content about making money, you need to maybe switch gears into actually putting action into going toward making it. But also, you could probably start to take some classes or to learn about how to manage finances. It's like all those things that are intimidating to you about finances, you should switch gears into learning about those things. Learn about trust funds and things of that sort. Like, I can't even think off the top of my head of what things you should be researching, because I don't even know myself. That's what I'm saying. Like, these things are so foreign, but I feel like you're meant to go into this unknown territory. Hold on. Let me I hope this doesn't like affect the reading too much, but I'm lowering my mic because last time I had an issue with my mic being too loud and it messed up my audio. So if the mic went down slightly, I just turned it down slightly. So I hope that, it's okay. Because yeah, last time my audio was too loud and it messed up the entire recording, and oh my God. Anyway, so I turned my mic down a bit. But like I was saying, yeah, you're meant for this journey. You're meant for this journey, and you are capable. Like, you just have to learn. Like, and you have to also, I feel like my mic is still too loud. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. This is a new mic, and it's like you have to keep adjusting the volume so that it's not like doing too much, because it'll mess up the entire audio. Hold on one second. All right, that should be good. I'm not going to adjust it again. But yeah, you're capable, is what I'm trying to say. You are fully and totally capable of learning everything that there is to learn, or everything that there is to know about money, or about finances, and about generational wealth. And again, there's so many classes online. There's like, it's so many different avenues. Or maybe you can even try to find like a mentor. It's like, The knowledge is there. You just have to seek it. And the more that you do seek out that knowledge about how to manage your money and like just the way that wealthy people live and how they manage their money, um, just anything that involves large amounts of money and learning how to maintain it, learning what to do with it, how to spend it, how to invest it, go towards learning those things because that's going to clear out a major wealth blockage for you. I'm telling you. Like, for example, if you're someone who you're like, okay, one day I want to buy a mansion, there's going to be a lot of questions in your mind about what that entails. And until you go and research that and answer those questions, you're always going to feel like there's a lingering blockage for that. But once you go and research like how to actually go about that process, the taxes that comes with it and things like that, then you'll be more than equipped. Like, you know what I'm saying? You'll be more than comfortable and confident going towards it. So that's what I'm seeing here. It's like you're needing to take action towards making the money that you want to make, and you're also needing to just have a lot of or go towards acquiring knowledge about how to maintain large amounts of money, and you'll feel more comfortable taking action simultaneously. So the next two cards, which is funny because the Chariot card is coming out, that's literally the action card. um yeah, it's just repeating what I already just said, taking action and clearing out the blockage to that action by becoming more knowledgeable. And then the healing card is here in the reverse. Let me pull one card, one clarifier card for that. Nine of Swords, healing in reverse, Nine of Swords. Yeah, this is underlying subconscious fears that you are just blanketing with like visualizations and like daydreaming and like consuming content. Just like I said, yep. Ten of Pentacles, Nine of Swords. Yeah, this is I'm not even gonna just get into these cards because it's literally just repeating what I just told you. The Ten of Wands is I mean the Ten of Pentacles is about like your legacy. Like it's about like long-term wealth, long-term plans, generational wealth. Yeah, you have to actually start taking action towards that. And I already kind of went over what what you need to start doing. And I feel like for a lot of you also like you're also needing just to have an idea of your long-term plans as well. I feel like for some of you, you have like a very abstract idea, like, oh yeah, I want to make this amount of money. But it's like, how do you want to make it? How do you want to go about making it? What are you willing to sacrifice in order to make that amount of money? Because there's just certain habits and mindsets and things like that that we have to sacrifice in order to reach a certain amount of income. So what are you willing to sacrifice? And who are you willing to serve in order to get that money? And when I say who you're willing to serve, I mean what value are you adding to the world in order to get that money? Like, for example, if you are wanting to start your own company, what value are you adding to the world through that company? See what I'm saying? Like think about a product that you use that is like life changing to you and that is so beneficial to you. That product is adding value to your life. That's what I mean. Like, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, what value do you want to add to people's life? Like, how are you going to be of service to people? So it's like having that long term goal in mind, like that. And then also just having your emotional reasons why. Like, and I always talk about this about how your reasons why, I feel like they need to be connected to your emotions because as human beings we're just emotional creatures. And so like for example, one of your emotional reasons why could be that you have a child and you want to provide like the best life possible to your child. You want to be able to take your child on like these amazing family vacations. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, if you have an emotional reason why tied to your long-term goals, then it's going to make it that much easier to stay motivated and go towards them. So that's what I'm seeing for you. Wow, that was deep. So I'm going to extend this. We are going to in the extended video, we are going to look further at how you can clear these blockages out. We're going to look at how your wealth is going to come to you, like, what avenue you're going to take in order to get your wealth. And then we are going to look at what your wealthy era is going to look like, what your life is going to be like once you are wealthy. So, yeah, the link to the extended video will be in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you over in the extended video.